festival is, it's all about the women. I have a book coming out on April 8th, Dark City Dames.
Woo!
Originally, this book came out in 2002, so it's almost celebrating its 25th anniversary or something. And the original edition of that book is woven into the fabric of this festival, because it was back then, in the earliest days of the festival, that many of the women that you're going to see this year in Noir City appeared here on, well, there was no stage here back then. They appeared here on the ground floor of the Egyptian Theater to talk about their movies and their lives, and I got to know them very well, and a book resulted from that called Dark City Dames, The Wicked Women of Film Noir. Now,
What a great title.
25 years later, we've changed just enough as a society that the publisher said, can you please call it Dark City Dames, The Women Who Defined Film Noir? We know, the hardcore know the truth about this, right? We like our women wicked, thank you very much. But the public at large, it's like, didn't they do more than just be wicked on screen? So it was a change that I was happy to make, because they didn't change anything on the inside of the book. But I'm not going to talk a lot about that, because the book is not here. The publisher is not releasing the book until April 8th. So even though, hey, my 26th year doing this at the Cinematheque, I still couldn't get the publisher to give me books early so that we could sell them here. Sean and Jeff from Larry Edmonds Bookstore. Come on, let us sell the book. But that'll be late. You can order it from Larry Edmonds Bookstore. And I do want to give a shout out to those guys down here on the Dirty Boulevard who have sold more copies of my books than any other bookstore in the United States.
Yay, Jeff and Sean.
If you bought one of my books from Larry Edmonds through the mail, Sean Hathwell, right here in the first row, has packed that book, put the stamp on it, and signed the packaging for you. That is Sean doing that. Thanks again.
Hey, Sean.
Okay, so I hope there are young people in the crowd tonight who regularly feast on 8-part, 8-hour streaming television series that they have to binge watch, and it takes forever to tell a story. Because tonight you're going to see 2 movies in less time than it takes to watch one episode of one of those streaming series. Detour is 67 minutes long. My True Story is 61 minutes long. We're going to have you home in time for SportsCenter tonight. And you're going to get 2 really cool movies in the bargain. Detour, the hardcore know that this is sort of like the ne plus ultra of film noir. This is like the most fatalistic, pessimistic, defeated, miserable movie ever made, and we love it. And those 26 years ago, Ann Savage appeared here with the film, and that began this whole wonderful saga that I'm still living, talking all about these movies. Anne is one of the 6 women that I profile in Dark City Dames, and it really is, I think I'm here in Hollywood, you guys already know this, but it bears repeating that the movies do give people a sort of amazing immortality, and Anne was very, very aware of that, because Detour broke her career, and Detour is the single thing that she is remembered for in that movie career. So when she gave this performance that you're about to see, she had no idea that she was basically signing her death warrant in a way, because nobody would cast her again in any part of significance after seeing her play Vera in this movie. Alfred Hitchcock turned her down for roles, George Cukor turned her down, George Stevens turned her down. They just saw her in this film and said, oh my God, please. And then she disappeared. She left Hollywood, vanished, lived a life, went to New York, moved to Miami, and then ended up back here working in a law office downtown, as a docket clerk.
Wow.
In a law office, until suddenly this film noir revival thing happened. And she said to me many times, because after the night we shared here we kind of did a road show, the Detour road show, and I didn't like kill anybody in a convertible or anything, but we did that, and she was so grateful for having several last hurrahs where she got to see her work on the screen and have an audience react to it many, many years later. It was incredibly important for her towards the end of her life. And honestly, all the women that you're going to see featured in this festival, Colleen Gray and Jane Greer and Audrey Totter and Marie Windsor, they all felt exactly the same way. And so a huge tip of the cap to the American Cinematheque that made that first festival happen here and invited all of those women to participate, and that began this saga that has led to this point now where the book's being republished. They're all gone. They're all gone now. But God damn it, we're still watching them up on the screen, and that's really I could go into a bit to do for those of you who don't know the backstory about Detour and how it is this marvel of inventive filmmaking, shot really on short ends of film for virtually no money by PRC, known as Producers Releasing Corporation to some, and Poverty Row Crap to others. And it's an extraordinarily well-crafted film, given that there's no time, no money, nothing to do this. You know, Richard Linklater, who people probably know is a great filmmaker in his own right, you know, named his production company Detour for this movie because he so appreciated the cleverness and the style that went into making a silk purse out of a sow's ear, which is basically what Edgar G. Ulmer was given to make this movie. But it's extraordinary. I've shown it many, many times. Some people just don't get it. They say, it's really junky, isn't it? That's kind of the point. It's kind of the point. I have long said that this movie works best when you're alone in your house at 3 a.m. watching it on an old TV before the invention of DVDs and all that kind of stuff. It's like a movie that you dream rather than actually watch. So I hope you can get into that mindset. And for those of you who have not seen it before, I'm very happy that you chose to have your immersion into Detour at the North City Film Festival here in Hollywood. Enjoy.